and being in there, and they thought that they'll work to my advantage. I said, well, y'all don't get it. I don't need nothing working to my advantage. I'm an anomaly all in my motherfucking self. So do y'all want me in this house or not? Join the house. Everything took off from there. Me and Al would always have smoke conversations when he would get off work from doing hair while he in LA. Me sitting here at my place right here downtown in motherfucking New York. I would get a blunt. He would get a blunt. We would just start talking about a bunch of shit. So upon that time, he's saying he got some amazing people coming to the house. So I was like, okay, cool. I can't wait to meet him. He's like, you're going to gag. You see the people I got coming to the house. So I said, okay, not knowing in the midst of all of this, Ricky was the majority of bringing people in the house. It wasn't anybody else.
Correct.
I mean, me thinking people are pulling from here, there, left, and right. I brought two people to the house. I brought my dad, who is Zugatti Black, basically Jamarcus Atkins. That's my gay father. And I brought my my friend Mark into the house from Chicago, who used to be at Delcor as well. Okay. So in the midst of them saying that, hey, they brought that, you know, they asking us the requirements, so you got to bring two people. Dues are $25 every month.
Good morning.
And you go from there. So in the midst of doing all of that, we are deciding on when they're gonna debut, who's coming and who isn't. Now in the midst, Ricky did not lie when he said,
hold that thought. Good morning, everybody. It's 551 people in the room, guys. We're here having a great intellectual conversation, but however, I'm still at work. On the count of three, can everybody send a bell? Let's make the room lucky, guys. Don't be mean. Please send a high vibrational being. I am closing out my 600K quota for the month. And while we are here, we're not going to let this stop our flow. We're going to continue to flow and be a blessing. Me, myself, Susan, Donna, Naima. Hold on, bitch. And Mario are all hosts on the app. So on the count of three, everybody, let's send a bell. Let's make the room lucky, guys. And if you go ahead and look into your on your gift box, any of those treasure box gifts, any of those gambling gifts, try to go ahead and help us out. Send us a high vibration being. On the count of three, everybody send a bell. 1, 2, 3. Everybody send a bell. Send a bell. Send a bell. The room is now lucky, guys. Can we get some gambling gifts? Can we get some bubble guns? Some dragon bubbles, some mythical Pegasus, some swords, some scepters, anything in those treasure box gift on that treasure box gift tab can help us out reach our goals. Okay, go ahead.
So what I said off of what I said about what Ricky mentioned on his video yesterday. Okay. Ricky was in the dark about a lot of things, and it made me honestly cringe because I knew stuff he did not know.
Okay.
In the midst and in the moment of Ricky, you know, like I said, I always appreciate Ricky. I call Ricky Ma, I love him to pieces. But Ricky did not know that Aisha was gonna be his New York mother replacement, because me and Al had a conversation about that. And Al literally was on the phone telling me, you know, well, you know, we want Aisha to be New York mother, and then we'll find somewhere we want Ricky to go. But right now, you know, he did not really want Ricky to be mother. In the midst of doing that, I already knew who the overall mother was. He was gonna make Asia overall mother, but he was trying to find a place and a way to get Ricky out of there. I didn't understand what it was, because in the beginning, when Eric brought me to the house, Ricky would give me a hard time, and I guess because at the time I wasn't a part of what Ricky had saw choosing to come to the house, because he didn't know who I was at the moment, and he was wondering how did Eric get me there. You know what I'm saying? I saw the fat people Ricky was bringing. I was like, yeah, I could see Ricky, you know, feeling weight, because he didn't know what Al or Erica and it was doing. But Eric brought me because we were friends. And then when Ricky realized everything, and when Ricky realized how I was, and when Ricky realized that basically I was on the same page and understanding that he was, I would always tell Ricky whenever we hug, I was like, I got something to tell you. But I could never get around to telling him what that was.
Okay.
Asia did not know. Asia did not know these conversations before she was presented with these conversations. Because when Al would go out to dinner, or when Al had things going on, she was not aware. Yes, she was not. I knew because of being friends and being a person sitting there hearing everything and having everything explained.
So I think what people are saying is, after Asia became Mother West, there was no way she was going to take a chapter mother position.
Yeah, she wasn't gonna do that.
That's what people are saying.
No, Asia wasn't. I don't blame her. I mean, look, it's Asia. Like, who the fuck would want to sit here and come in and be a chapter mother? Bitch, if I ain't getting overall, I wouldn't come either.
Correct. I get that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But in the
So
midst of the dire conversations that were happening in
the
the moment,
original
he was not.
conversation was she was going to be New York mother with Lil Mama
Was, yes, she
because
was.
Lil Mama was father, correct?
I didn't know Little Mama's being father. I know his Nick was
Wait,
father.
well, Lil Mama ain't have no position?
No, not at the moment, but until they
Oh, damn.
yeah,
Shut
no,
my ass up, man.
Little Mama was more
Okay.
so like before
Oh,
they
she's
verbally said
overseer.
it.
Okay. Okay.
No, no, not even that. Little Mama was just like the treasurer or whatever it is. Like she kept the monies in line and all that because every time there's something coming up with a house table or us going to an event, Little Mama was the person we had to go to with a cash out. It wasn't nobody else.
Okay. 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 All right.
So Nick,
So Marlon definitely going to the agency. You sound like Kelly. Kelly told me she want to put her resignation in with Jack. And I told her, I said, girl, don't get your ass one more involved with kid. I know who Lil Mama is. Like, no shade. It was Lil Mama and Ricky was the only two people that I thought was even in the house. Eric didn't walk balls. Al damn sure ain't even walk their balls. Then he closed the house in 2013. So even the rest of them was just. And can I say something? No, Asian 9 007. Hey, let me tell y'all something because I see everybody trying want to ride Ricky's coattail, right? Some of y'all are fucked up individuals, so don't take that negative energy over there to what Ricky is trying to do. Some of y'all just
Nikki, I'm gonna tell you something. How you know shit was tea. You remember when Kelly had the thing just a couple of days ago, and
what?
somebody and Donna had read. Somebody said that Asia was supposed to come in to replace Nikki as a New York mother, but then she became the overall mother. And somebody sent
Right.
you that.
Talking about that. That wasn't me.
Somebody
That
sent
was me. That was me. That was me.
read that.
That was me. Somebody sent me that.
That
Oh, you
wasn't
know.
a
Oh no,
lie.
actually. Oh, hold on, cause
Yeah, that
no,
I
wasn't
cause
a
I
think
know
lie.
both
we
of
did
us.
that.
I think
You
Beck
just
sent it
heard
to
Ricky.
both
We
of
did.
Just
us.
heard Ricky say it.
We
You just
did.
heard Ricky say it on his video. It was not a lie. But the
Right.
renditions of how things were changed in the contract when Ricky found out, they made Asia overall.
Well, they made Asia over. So it's not like they didn't have a choice. To be clear, they didn't have a choice. Either they was gonna make her overall mother, they wasn't gonna have her at all.
What's the
Pretty
name,
much.
Sean?
Pretty much.
So it wasn't like they made her. No, bitch, they ain't have no choice but to make her overall mother because bitch, if y'all want me here, that's what y'all gonna give me.
Wait a minute. So hold on. Was she asking that? Because I want to make sure I'm understanding this.
No,
Was
so
she asking that coming into?
No, they presented her with it and she
Well, can
declined.
I say something? And I
correct,
know we talking
correct,
about
correct.
specifically, but I know we got 600 people in here listening, and so y'all know, like I like to make sure that stuff is told right.
Okay,
Contrary to popular beliefs, just because you are a overall mother one place does not
correct,
just
correct,
automatically mean that
correct.
you
I
just
agree.
get overall mother
I
That's
anywhere
agree.
true.
you go. That
That's
may have
true. I
worked
agree.
for where you were at, but somewhere else you may a different position may fit. So I don't want people just to be feeling like, once you kick that door down.
You're right.
So
Well,
But
no,
yeah.
I think what it is,
Lawrence,
Lawrence.
can we say that
I think
most
what it
girls?
is
Hold on, Marlon. Most girls feel like once I am overall, right?
Mhm.
That's a slap in my face to go someplace else and take less than
well,
So
because
who
now
said
I'm
And
going
who
well,
backwards.
said
well,
you should
well,
have been
well,
well,
hold on.
overall
Let me
mother in
say
the
this.
if
Let
first
me
we
say
gonna
place?
this.
be
Let me say
if we
this.
gonna be completely
Well, hold
honest,
on. Let me say
if
this,
we gonna be
Lawrence. Let me say
completely
this.
honest, a lot of people who sit in overall positions and
Shouldn't
then
have been there.
fail, you are giving grace by being able to go over to somebody else's organization
Well,
and
hold on.
sit at the head of the throne again.
But Lawrence,
Because
let me say
clearly there's
this.
a reason, but you're not sitting there from the last place.
Well, hold on. Let me
hmm
say this.
That's
And
a
I said this.
point
Hold on.
taken.
Hold on. I
Uh-huh.
said this about my house. Just because, first off, certain brands, certain houses, you being the overall anything over there is doesn't even amount to being. Just give an example.
Uh-huh.
You could be the New York City mother or the East Coast mother of Balenciaga.
Hmm.
That, but then you were the overall mother of Kellogg's. And that doesn't even, you get what I'm saying? Like it didn't even
Correct.
matter.
I get that part.
It
I
didn't
agree.
amount. It
I
didn't,
get
you know
that.
what I'm saying? Like certain
I get
houses
that.
is like, oh, I come from, it's like in a company, oh, I was the general manager for some off-brand shoe thing, compared to now you're trying to go to Nike and say,
Correct.
well,
I
I
know.
want to be the
I get
general.
what you're
And it's
saying.
like, well, sweetie, your workload over there
Was
ain't
different
what's
than what
happening
you.
in Nike
Correct.
over
Correct.
here.
So I said was that last night?
Well,
Last
who
night I
said you
said
was a good
I
overall
had.
mother there?
So this is what I was just about to say. So I had a conversation with a young lady, where we were
Now that's not the case with West
changing,
though. Just
we're
to be
changing,
clear,
we're changing
with Asia.
parents, and she felt like because her girlfriends was overall mothers in different houses, she deserved to be an overall mother. And I'm like,
Girl, that's another stupid ass shit too. See, that's that film queen and shit.
Well,
Just
I'm going through
because
that
your
right now,
friends get
Lawrence. With
something, that means you
I'm gonna
get
be
that
honest.
means it's
I'm
your
going
time.
through that right now with one of my girls because of your girls,
Well, read
right?
her. Well,
I
read
know
her.
I spared it, but and I was like, okay, I get it, I get it, but then you still don't have the history that they even have,
they
though.
have.
To be
Mind
fair,
you,
That's what
mind
Nick
you,
said.
I get
That's what
it,
Nick
but
said to the
it
girl.
thank you, Michaela. She felt
Uh-huh.
like because
just
so and so is overall mother here, and so they all came out together. Da, da, da. They also have experience. They've been mothers in other
well, this
places.
girl didn't even
They've
come
been
out with
chef.
them.
No,
Uh-huh.
this girl
You
ain't never been a
hang with
mother.
them.
This girl never been a mother. And me being me, I'm like, okay, well, girl, maybe we can put her here and we can kind of help. But the more we talk, the more I realize, okay, well, maybe East Coast. And then she kept talking. I said, well, maybe a chapter parent. Like,
Maybe you just need
uh,
to sit this one out, sis.
Wait a minute, hold on, Nikki. Wait, Nikki. The more you heard her talk, you was like, wait a minute, girl. You should have just took your shit and shut the fuck up and took it what we was going to give you. The more we keep listening to you, girl, you ain't getting shit.
it is not, and I think she's a sweet person. I'm not being funny, but
Same
I
thing
just
with
don't
what
feel.
I'm talking about.
The more I got to know her, the more I realized she needs a little more grooming, and that's what I was trying to explain to her when I circled the block. I was like, hey, listen, so start talking about it. I feel like you don't have much experience. You do this. Let's start you as a chapter parent and kind of like
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
See,
build you
my
up.
thing is, I have to make it clear, we move how we move. You know what I'm saying? I've never
Hmm.
moved off a ballroom. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm not myself, my personal the way I move, the way I think. As me being a founder of a house, it reflects on how I move. I never moved to just ballrooms beating a drum. You get what I'm saying? It was always what I wanted to do. So just because your friends
No shame
house
on you, right?
decided to do whatever they did for them, that is wonderful. But that's not what our
Not how it
reservation
works.
is for you here, right now.
I'm with you, Marlon. And
Right now. And I
being a
get it
founder,
because, and I get it
you
because,
have to think different. You have to think differently. You have.
and because every house is different. So, like for example, Balmain is strong in the Midwest. So you
Mhm.
gotta kind of be a certain type of something to think you getting something as a Balmain in Midwest. You get what I'm saying? Compared to in Seattle, Washington, you know what, girl, we ain't doing that over
Well,
there, girl, right here. But over here in the
well,
Midwest, we need some soldiers to take
But
something over
don't
here.
y'all? Somebody said it earlier. Don't y'all think it looked better when the house actually see the person grow from the chapter parent to the East Coast parent to the overall parent? Like actually see them
some,
grow, their
so
growth,
The
let me speak.
progression.
Let me say
progression.
this.
Yes.
Um, ooh,
Well, it depends
sometimes,
because we had a thing in our house where they like, sometimes as founders, you will hear the, wow, y'all overlooked us and brought somebody from the outside.
uh-huh,
Girl, listen,
uh-huh.
you didn't do
Hmm.
nothing. While we gave you opportunity, we asked, we begged you. You didn't do shit, girl, so we went and found something else. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear
Mm,
it.
okay.
Listen to me,
Oh, oh,
Okay.
Marlon. Let me tell you
okay.
something. Being a founder, you really have to think differently, right? and I'm the type of girl, I have learned to be a team player. You can come to me and Marla like to say, well, I mean, at the end of the day, this is Jack's house, and this is
Well,
Rodney's house.
no, what I say, Nikki, is there is a high, like, for example, there is still like Rodney could be a founder, you're a founder, let's just say, give an example. Felicity is a founder, and then
Not
JD, no, I'm giving an example, and JD is
okay.
a founder, right? There is still a hierarchy of, unless y'all set in this, it's kind of strange to say, but I always say that there is still a head of a household in a company. Like, for example, in Tishi, it will be Pampers, no matter if it is other founders. The same thing in West, it's other founders, but it's still Lil James, Harold, Rodney, Jack, Vinny, it's just, that's how I feel. That I could be wrong.
Well, I mean,
That's just how I
so
look at it.
I would say those are the faces of the house, right?
Not even the faces, though,
No, those are
necessarily.
I can only speak for me.
Okay.
A lot of times when y'all call Rodney and have something to say, guess what he does? He calls me, say, niece, co-founder. What
And
do
I
you
told you
think?
that that's the respect they give us. They don't have, as you can see what they said about Al and maybe possibly,
See, that's the
they
problem.
don't
That's why,
have to do a
but that's the problem.
motherfucking thing.
Al and
That's
Rodney
why
are very different.
That's why Allure is still in the same boat that they were in 20 years
Well,
ago.
for Ms.
Um,
Rahi Khan, like different places, they
Yeah,
don't.
you got
great
Al and
example.
Al and
You
Andre are
you
more
do
alike than Rodney.
Yes.
you're proving my point. Um, um, but okay. So somebody
I
on
watched the video,
Tuesday.
Nikki.
Okay, on Tuesday, we were having a conversation on iconic point of view about the Maharia case, a situation. And I told them, I said, girl, I
That's a
told
good
her to
question, Nikki,
leave.
at the bottom. Please go to that when you're done.
Let's have the honest convo. When does the overall put in work and leave the house?
Because that's the question that we really
Say it again,
ask
Nikki.
these days of some houses, the overalls, well, I don't really know. It seemed like, girl, I don't know. Nikki,
Well,
maybe Lawrence
overall,
can
okay.
answer that.
So
Maybe
overalls
Lawrence
are
can
not,
answer that. Girl, I
but
don't know.
overalls are not what they used to be. Like, so when I came in the ballroom, Fred and Shay Shay, it was whatever they said, boom, that's that.
Correct.
You mean overall mother
Um,
and father?
right. Now, believe it or again, this is how
Yeah,
it should
that's what
be.
I'm saying, Nikki. It's very crazy. So
In
don't
my
even,
house,
if you don't
in
want to
my,
touch it, don't touch
oh,
it.
I don't mind. I don't mind. In my
Okay.
house, I will say me and Roddy are gonna have the last say so. But however, we are also have a board that we try unless it's something like to okay. When we brought Junie in, it was very much me and Rodney. That was our decision. Then we introduced him to certain people, and it kind of trickled down like that. Um, it wasn't a because we didn't want it to get out. Um, so that's why that wasn't a conversation with the board. It was a conversation with very few people to keep it under wraps and a lot of people didn't find out. Actually, when he came to the induction meeting Labor Day weekend, they were looking at him like, why he here? Little do they know that was their new
Some
overall
people don't like
founder.
that though. I went through that in my house
Correct,
where
Mona. That
it
was
was kind
outside
of
their
like,
pay
wow,
grade.
nobody said nothing. And it's like, well, because y'all talk too much, and
Too
Yeah,
much.
talk
also,
too
Correct.
fucking much.
Correct.
Yes, no shade.
we don't know, like, it's just like, it just spoils it. And it really
Hmm.
wasn't y'all decision either.
Bitch,
Correct.
we did.
Correct. Correct.
When I
Correct.
was alive then, bitch, none of us knew Didi was coming to the house. None of
Correct.
us.
Correct.
No matter if you was an East Coast this or
Right.
whatever you thought, any of that.
You say, Marlon, you don't Bitch, want to give and them I the was mistaken close to the impression higher that they up. had an So, bitch, opinion I was like, no shade. worth When she
Correct.
came, I gagged.
Um.
But Nikki, before you go forward,
When I looked at this video, my impression, the Asia offer was a ploy. In Asia, you allowed yourself to be played and used. They were never going to make her
Overall.
a New York City mother. She was never going to.
Okay.
But to offer that was a way to get Ricky to say, "Oh hell no, I'm out of here," and then put her in a
Oh,
position
so
that
move him
she would
out.
accept.
Uh-huh.
The
Okay.
way it looked to me, I
Okay.
can't say that it's
I
for
don't
sure
know,
because of course I
Susan.
don't know.
I think that, again, I
No,
don't
wait.
know because some houses run different. Like,
No.
back in the day, Susan, you know this. Back in the day, way back in the day, New York City mother was like the biggest thing in ballroom since color TVs to be able to become any leader as a New York City because it was New
The
York.
Mecca of ballroom.
But
Correct.
I'm
Correct.
saying,
But
Asia
hold
said
on.
she
Well,
would
Now,
never
hold on,
want to
Al
be
Robin.
might
New York
still
City
have
mother.
that mindset where New York may have been biggest things as color TVs to him to give Asia, perhaps. And she did say
Well,
that they did.
that's not true
No.
because hold on. That's not true because Dee Dee has been overall mother. Cheyenne has been overall mother. Temperance has been overall mother. So he knows the what it holds, what it means to hold those positions.
But what
Those
I'm
are
saying
very,
is he
very
That
may
big,
not
type of
very big
have
things.
mothership.
had that type of reservation for her, perhaps.
I think he
Okay.
used her. I
I
think he
want to say
used
something.
her
I
to
want
get
to
to.
interject. The reason
Because
why Susan
Asia
said,
came on
wait,
Ricky's live and specifically said, yes, they offered, but it was declined. I
Right.
declined it. I declined it.
so hold on, Marlon. The reason why Susan is saying what she's saying, because if you remember in the live,
Said
Ricky
Jason.
said that
Jason's out here giving
Al
soldier
didn't like him. Al
rest.
didn't like him. Al never really cared for him.
Correct.
So that was all more reason to offer her that to get Ricky out. That's what Susan is saying to you.
Believe it or not, I don't know if because Al, if they wanted to get rid of Ricky, they could have got, it's not, I
So
mean, we all know,
Marlon, that was my thing.
I don't
So
think they
why don't
wanted to
y'all
get
just
rid
put
of
him out?
Ricky, but I knew that they felt like he would the word that Nikki likes to use, tolerate. We tolerate Ricky. We brainwashed Ricky to the point where, girl, he ain't going nowhere. Child, this is where he at. So if we was to give somebody else a position, we'll say, girl, shut up here. Be on a board member. Girl, we'll give you this.
But see,
We
they
know.
didn't give her none of that. They didn't have a reason to put her out. Good reason. Good. I mean, but here's the thing: he didn't have a reason to close the house. He just closed the house. He could have did what he wanted to do because Al is one of those leaders that what I say goes for my house,
Correct.
and there is nothing above me.
Correct.
So I feel, me personally, I also do feel like somebody made. Arby said, I think they were afraid of what might happen. I think they were trying to avoid this. What's going on now?
I
That's
don't
why they
think that they
maybe
thought that Ricky would ever leave publicly.
leave. Correct. Correct.
She may
I
step
believe
away
that.
and tell
Andre
y'all,
closed
hey,
his
girl, y'all
Rahi
can
because
have
he was
it.
frustrated with Ray Ray, and he felt like Ray Ray was so powerful that he could not exist. They could not coexist in his Rahi, and he couldn't go on. Him and Jack called around trying to get a vote here and get a vote there, stay, go, whatever. It's a mess. When you feel like somebody, Ricky was Ray Ray back in the day. Someone in your house that is speaking so loud and everyone's starting to listen in and outside your house, and you feel like your power is diminishing
Powerless.
and your
Correct.
ego
Well,
is
no,
so
I don't
big
want
you
to
can't
say
handle
Ricky
it.
is I can't. I don't want to say Ricky is Ray Ray because the difference is Ray Ray had Jack, which was basically that was your backbone. That was your power, right? Ricky doesn't have Enrique no more. She don't have that person that could have said, Al, listen, like Jack, hey, bitch, come on, or what's up? Ricky didn't have that backbone
But if you
compared
think about
to
it, but Marlon, he had Jack, but who won? Andre. It became G1G. Only people stayed in his ride was me, Michi, and Alexis.
yeah,
We
but I'm
never
just
left.
saying like Ricky didn't have that backbone of that backbone of a Ray Ray. I would say I was gonna say I said
When the St. Laurent left in 2013, I think everything that for me, I thought when he became Ricky, just Ricky, I figured that he had already got fed up and he was just tired at that point, right?
Well,
And
Nikki,
it
but
goes
Nikki,
back.
if you remember, and he even said it on the live, if you really remember that ball, the night that back in 2013, back when the
Mhm.
St. Laurent left Allure, if you remember in DC when Ricky battled Marquise in the Leopard what's the name, that's the night that he's talking about on the what's the name when he said that little Eric
You talk about
voted
at the
for
Balenciaga
Marquise
family
football
reunion
was there.
ball,
Was that?
at the
Aladdin?
yes, Marlon, yes.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay, okay,
when
okay.
Ricky shifted and everybody thought that Ricky was a Saint Laurent because after
Miss
that
Chalet
that's
came out and walked face that night.
I mean she sure did, Marlon. We were all there.
And
That's
Tiffany
when
Monroe walked. That was her last
sure
time
did.
walking.
Marla Gag, I went in the underground and was reading the receipts from us talking about that. That's what made me realize it was in
Mm-hmm.
May of 2013 when all this took
Mm-hmm.
It was
place.
October. It was
Mm-hmm.
October of 2013.
No, so when they left the house, it was
They
May. That
closed at
ball
20.
was October.
Yes, yes,
That
yes,
ball was
yes,
October, and
yes,
everybody
yes.
thought that Ricky had left because of what had happened on that what's name. Everybody thought that Ricky went to Saint Laurent.
Because everybody did. Damn near.
Yeah, but Ricky never did go.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he changed his name to Ricky, just Ricky.
Yeah,
I
just
can
yeah.
I can still see in the underground. I can still see the old screen name. I I'm gonna have to go back and look, but his name was Ricky, just Ricky, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. But I again I haven't. So Susan, go ahead. You watched the video, Susan.
I watched it in its
Su,
Man,
entirety too.
I
you
think
so
that
you what? Hold on,
what
hold
I
on,
was
Marla.
saying, oh,
Hold on, Susan. You watched the video. So tell me, give me your take.
uh, which
The
component of
um.
people who coming using ballroom for dick, or I mean, what are we talking about?
Oh Jesus.
well, girl, they've been doing that for
Yeah,
I
I
said
mean,
eons.
like
this
when he
morning.
said somebody's using their house for dick, I said people use ballroom for that.
I said this morning that I agree with how he was mistreated. I agree with did he deserve this? Did he deserve that? I agree. I feel like he deserved
Hey,
all that.
Marquise.
However, I do feel like he
Hey, Marquis,
had
hey, brother.
his own intentions behind staying. And I do have empathy, but I don't have a lot of sympathy because
Mhm.
I do feel like while we watch other people get done a certain way, um, there are times when, thank you, Carter, we watch people get done a certain way and then we believe like, oh girl, they ain't gonna do that to me until they do it to you. Um,
Okay,
and then and then
but P,
Well,
then
girl,
that's
that's life.
you want to know but you want to know
Yeah.
the down flip side to that. Um,
okay.
the down flip side to it, right? Everything you're saying is true. But
Mm,
ballroom has also made it to where if you leave houses, you're a house hopper, you can't work with people, this, and so forth and so on. So hear me, coming from the era that Ricky comes from, right? Still kind of in that Ricky is a little bit before me, right there with you, right?
No, he
Um,
before me, but go ahead.
well, okay, even before you, right? Boom.
Mhm.
They come from that bitch. We in here, we ride or die, four flats. You know what I'm saying? Da da da,
I,
which don't
I'm,
always be
I'm
to.
not negating none of that. I'm not negating none of that.
Well,
But what I'm
Susan
saying, but hear what
McGraw
I'm
say
no, hear what
Susan.
I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying, though, P.
Uh-huh.
In the situation, you kind of end up because I've been knowing Ricky for a very long time. Ricky, Marquise, all of them since I first came in the scene, they all told me the same thing. It's one of those situations where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you leave and go to somewhere else, right, then that don't work. Then you leave and go to somewhere else, right, then that don't work for whatever reason. You leave and go to somewhere else, then that don't work. Then what do you become? Then people want to peg you as the problem or as a house hopper or
Well,
so forth.
well,
No,
well.
so
Hold
no,
on, because hold on, because there's a lack of accountability. Because at some point, everybody can't find the issue with you and you not have no fault.
Yeah, some people is, you know what I'm saying, not, and I said some people do have personality flaws where they some
Mm-hmm.
you know they're
Mm-hmm.
very much sometimes they're very
Mm-hmm.
outspoken or
Mm-hmm.
they
If that
feel
was me,
like, bitch, I
I
don't give a
definitely
fuck
gonna
who
say what I
shit.
had to say.
But see,
I know some girls right now in the scene, you know,
uh-huh.
that would tell me they have it, but I'll just put them out instantly. But
Right.
there's some girls that would say they don't give a fuck who who shit it. I'm gonna speak my mind, or I'm gonna say what I
Right.
need to
Right.
say, or
Right.
whatever the case may be. And whatever the case may be. And what the fuck? Oh, okay. And they gonna do whatever they need to do. So there is some people. Sorry, I got distracted. There's some people that
Mm-hmm.
just have these personality flaws where sometimes, not saying that they're wrong, but they're very
Right.
outspoken.
Right.
You know, they can't. You see what Ricky said? The program. There's a certain program. I don't give a fuck what's happening, who you are, whatever you are,
Right. That's
whatever the
right.
case may be.
Right.
Even Beyonce has to something. There's a certain
Right. Exactly.
program
Exactly.
that everybody is under a program. You can never think you're bigger than the program that don't belong to you. And even when it belongs to you, you are still under a bigger program than that.
And so, okay, and so there, like, I agree with what you're saying, but there's a word choice that I don't like, and it may be personal, but character flaws with people who are outspoken, right? Now, had you said character flaws for some other reasons, I would have been 100% behind you. But even like to what Nikki said, one thing I'm never going to, and what I notice about ballroom people as a whole, one thing that they very strong, people who are grand prize winners, people who know how to get things themselves, people who.
You went out, Aladdin.
No, I didn't go out. I
Shut
started
up.
saying
Shut up.
shush.
Shut up. Shut up.
Oh.
That got to be mine. That got to be mine. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I didn't. She was saying shush. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Oh, well, I'm not looking at the phone.
That was Maya Michael. You heard her? Go ahead.
Yeah. So, saying that as a character flaw, because I don't think it's a character flaw to speak up for yourself or speak up for something that you feel isn't conducive to, you know what I'm saying, your well-being or put you in a position to where you have to, you know what I'm saying, make a decision that is tough for you. I'll never say that that's a character flaw for people, right? You may not like it when people do it.
A lot of people can't take it though.
Yeah, right.
And if you know you can't,
know what I'm saying? You may not like it.
There's a
don't have that
small
person
line
around
between
you.
Aladdin, and I made a post about it. Because I don't play with bitches. Because I don't let you play with me, how you may play with the next bitch. Because I am very, comfortable with myself, and I got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of.
You can't talk to me all type of way.
I come off as the problem, because I don't let you play with me, right?
Correct.
But we also have to realize it goes to like.
But Marley, in what you're saying, right? We're gonna take me and you, right? And we've been knowing each other for years, and we both been kind of the same way, right? People will call you a problem, but still kiki and hot with you. People will call me a problem and isolate me. And we're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah,
What
works for me,
Aladdin,
but what works for me in my house don't work for you in your house.
Yeah, that's true too.
Well, no, but Nikki, the same thing is this. What it is Aladdin, when you said, because I speak my mind, I speak my mind, right? There is still, again, it's a program. Unless it's yours, it's a program, right? So what happens is, it's not what you say, it's how you say it and when you say it. You get what I'm saying? I've had many talks with Andre on the phone or talks with Jack on the phone, but certain things of how I believe,
I won't do it.
I can't disrupt somebody else's program, outbursting certain stuff just because of how I feel. I tell Andre all type of shit on the phone.
Right.
I'm not going to say that at our national meeting.
Exactly, Marlon, and neither have I.
I'm not going to do that.
And that's
because that's interrupting someone's program.
But that's the point that I'm making. People pick and choose when the program matters. Because to your point that you're making, if you honestly think a person like me and a few other people who do that just come out of the clear blue sky and just start spazzing, then that means that that people as leaders need to get together and start getting these people more different type of help than just talking to them, right? That's something else going on. And I don't think that these people have these things going on. But to get back to my point that I'm trying to make when it comes to Ricky and people saying, because I've been seeing a lot of people say that they don't have like, they have empathy for her but they don't have sympathy for her, and I've been seeing people say that even before you said it, P, right? But I know your reason, because I know you, is a look, I can understand what you're saying a little differently for most people, right? um but I'm just simply saying that in this game that we keep
Mm-hmm.
saying that exists, right? You
Uh-huh.
never really know. You never really know how you're going to win it, or what part that you're going to shoot the 3-point in, and it's going to go in the basket. Because the
Uh-huh.
same way that Ricky sat here for 22 years and been loyal, now people
Mm-hmm.
give it, oh, I don't have no sympathy. But that's what y'all. That's what, not you, Nikki, but that's the
Mm-hmm.
rhetoric that's been in ballroom for years. That you're supposed to be loyal, right for your house, stop the
Right.
pop.
So, and
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
I understand. I understand it, and I think again,
Your reason was different,
Mark.
Nikki.
No. But Martin said something earlier. I guess now me being on the opposite side of it, I look at things different because after being Chanel for so many years, being put out so many times, and then like I said, the whole New York situation with, um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, people. I felt like people being fake, Quincy and Revlon, all that other shit going on at the
Mm-hmm.
time. Um, when I got to Ball man, I came in with the same mentality, and it just took one time for me to realize, oh wait a minute, hold on, I'm not doing this shit over again.
So here we
And
go
I
Mm-hmm.
came
again. Hmm.
when I came back, I had to look at it differently. Um, for me, I just I I, I feel like he was. I do feel like he was treated wrong. I feel like he was disrespected. I feel like they took it, made a joke. Like, I really believe all of.
Discrimination.
I feel like all of
Mm-hmm.
that,
Ageism,
but I
all types of
also feel like he had his own plan, and he stated
Mm-hmm.
and doing it for his own selfish reasons.
Well, he
But
earned it. He earned it.
does the fact that he, because at some point, hear me, at some
Ricky
point when
benefited from the status of being in the house outside, being in the house outside of the house.
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Ricky
do respect,
benefited
but
from
is
the
that
status of.
but is that do respect, but is that wrong, bitch? From
Could
day
you
one,
break
y'all
that
been
down, Nikki, so that
But I,
But
I
I
feel
don't.
like he felt like he earned something. It's
right,
just like
Auntie Sue. He
Michael
earned
Jordan
Do
it.
came
so.
in as a rookie of the Chicago Bulls. At some point, I'm putting in the work. Either make me the captain
Yes,
or I'm moving on.
yes.
And he didn't
But
move
that's the
on.
thing. But that's it right there, Susan. It took you 22 years. You watch other people be bamboozled for 22 years, and now 22 years later, you feel like, and I don't not bitch, get your motherfucking things because you deserved it. I don't have sympathy for you. I have empathy because you sat there and
Can
watched it
I say
happen to
this?
other people.
Since
Go
Marlon is
ahead.
here, me,
Okay.
Marlon, Jack, Kelly, we tried to
Mhm.
get Andre to do the right thing, and
Okay.
let
mm-hmm.
Jack control the household.
For
Remember,
years.
Marlon? We tried. No, this was a couple of months in time towards
Mhm.
the end
Oh,
towards
towards the
the
end, you talking about that? Okay, okay.
yeah, we tried. We had a plan together. The plan was respectfully. I ruled respectfully, and everything just did well. It got to a point where rather than completely stay behind and us never being able to be friends again, they
Correct.
want to go and do their own thing.
Correct.
And so Susan is here, right? And
But we're not going to destroy me and Mom. We're not going to destroy me and Kelly. We're not going to destroy me and Jack. Because that's who we were at that point.
mm,
They had a lot more to lose and been a game stand. The only thing they could gain was just to destroy
Susan is here now, Aladdin. There is people like myself who is opposite of, well, shit, he ain't did it to me, or he ain't doing nothing to me, so shit, I can sit back and shut up. Part of the biggest thing of me and Andre back and forth was he never took my position and stuff or any of that type of shit. Bitch, I was paying for it. So
Yeah, I
my
know. I
shit was
remember.
fine.
I know.
Yeah,
And
mine
you
was
used to always say
solidified.
that, and I used to always say, "Girl,
You know,
you gonna see
mine
one
was
day."
solidified. It
You
was
know
the
what? I
other
never thought
people.
about that.
And I
Say that again,
said,
Alain. Say that again.
But I told Marlon, and you could also contest. Yes, even from me being there and us when we were really, really close, kin on the phone, me, you, and Corey. I told you back then. I said, one day, girl, you gonna see.
correct, you know, and so what happened was I
Marlon
kept
wasn't personally
I would never
affected.
forget when I said, do not take the people position. Don't, you know, I was saying, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. He said, bitch, why are you so mad about it? Bitch, I ain't taking yours. And I said, because it's just the principle. I'm looking at the overall principle of the house. I could have sat back and said, you know what,
Correct.
child, you right, girl, it
Correct.
don't got shit to do with me. Let me shut up.
Correct.
But
Correct.
that was not part of our program. You get what I'm saying? So I had to say something, and because of saying something, could, like Aladdin, like you said, could put you on the opposite side of the fence. You know, I remember talking to Nikki and my get Adonis and everybody.
Right.
We all used to be on these phones and playing this shit in groups and stuff. And this is when Andre had put me out publicly, and I was still running around like, girl, please, I'm still Miss Rahi, girl, please, I'm still judging, all this stuff. And Nikki and them used to say, girl, just leave, just go, just give the man his house. And I'm like, girl,
Even the whole that LaBeija debacle, man, give them people their house.
Yes. Marlon, remember when you was gonna start the House of Mason Margiela?
Yeah. And it's so funny because Arnold bring it up all the time because I brought it to Arnold. I said,
you did. Yes, you did. We was on the phone.
And I said, I want to do Mason Margiela. I said, I think it's under. I said, I think
everybody name got to be Mason, such and such, Margiela, Mason.
I said everybody
with
their first name would be Mason. I said everybody first name be Mason, and I was like, I think it's over.
Is that why people? Is that why y'all are called? Is that why people are gorgeous Marlon Gucci?
Yes, that's how I wanted it. I wanted it to be first.
Okay.
I wanted it to be first gorgeous. So how it went was gorgeous was already when we, Jack was like,
that was Jack. That's Jack.
Correct.
That's Jack.
And so
the gorgeous,
I was like,
Jack has always had the gorgeous because
correct. So I
Dee
said,
Lola,
correct.
All those
correct.
girls
And
were
so,
gorgeous girls. Yeah.
Correct. So I said, well, we need something to be masculine. I said, the guys may not all want to be called no gorgeous and this, that, and the other, da, 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 da. And then that's when it was like, we thought about it and all that stuff and was like, Gucci, at that time I was dealing with Dapper Dan and Gucci and all that shit.
Right.
I
gorgeous
like,
is Jack, Gucci is Marlon. I've always heard that. That's always been
and so what we wanted was gorgeous. The dolls was the dolls and guys. You know what I'm saying? The gorgeous dolls and the Gucci guys. But and so it's so funny because I kept telling Jack, I was like, well, even Andre. I said it's Andre. I don't know, Susan, if you heard. I kept saying I said we could keep changing the name. I said we'll keep gorgeous. I said, but after 4 years or 3-4 years after we do a ball, let's go from Gucci. We'll go to Ms. Rahi, or we'll go to Chanel, or we'll go to, just give an example of different names. We'll keep gorgeous and keep changing our last name, that Gucci, to another brand, and keep going like that. Just something different. You know what I'm saying? Like something fun. And so that's what it was. Like I was just thinking of something that'd be fun and something to have fun with.
Yeah, Marlon always been good with that. A lot of y'all don't know that. Marlon named a few houses. Me and Marlon sat on the phone and named a few houses that are out today.
And it's so funny because Arnold loved Mason Margiela. She claimed that she was gonna do it herself before, and all that. And then Vinny came with her Mason Margiela. I was like, yep.
I always wanted to know, did you somehow tell him, or did he just come up with that on his own?
No, he came up with his, I think, he came up with his own thing. I never mentioned it to nobody outside of like my girls.
Right.
I never mentioned anything. But what I must say is Vinny is one of the ones that made it very clear that he will run his house, and it will, he does have the final say so, and like he's not hiding that. You got to
No,
He
respect someone
doesn't.
that's
He
not
doesn't.
he,
hiding that.
Mm-hmm.
he's not hiding it, but I also want him to realize that that mentality doesn't get you far in a ballroom.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got some of
I,
our most iconic houses that far, so you can't say that. You mean they
no,
don't get you that far in ballrooms
I mean,
that's
today
what
not
I
true.
because
mean, but
That's
everybody is
not
but
very,
well. Hold on,
very.
hold
but
on, hold on,
Marlon,
hold on. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Um, let's call it spade a spade,
I mean,
right?
look at
Okay.
Allure.
Look at the
Margella is the new age.
houses. Look at the houses. Where have they been? Where have they gotten?
No, that's now. What I'm saying
Yeah.
is when I
They're
came in,
getting too iconic. Yeah, that's
yes,
how they
when I
are.
Well,
came in,
again. So there, you're talking
Big
about.
Miss James
Oh,
ran con, sweetie.
right, but again, look where
Man
Con is
ran
now.
Prodigy.
That's now. What I'm saying is
But that's
at
what I'm
one
saying.
point,
But we can't think about back then. We're talking about
oh,
now.
Well,
you
no,
saying
well,
That
no,
now
doesn't.
Nikki,
that's not
I
the
That's
way
what
think
I'm
you
saying.
But
think
It
now they're
doesn't
now,
work
using
that's
him
not
for
the
I
now.
way.
think
vacuums.
what
Now
what I
the
think what Marlon is
positioning.
saying is that yeah, it's now that happened, but it took time for it to get there.
Correct.
And
Because
based
there was a point
upon
of
what
time what Tony says
What
is what
Tap is
goes.
doing,
What Andre says is what goes.
Different
But
yeah,
ballroom.
again,
You're
that
not
okay.
and
I hear what you're saying. It worked then. It
Right.
worked in 2000. It worked in 2005. Where that
how's it
does
working
not work
now?
in 2025 is what I'm
During the
saying. No, it's
COVID.
Well,
Correct.
but
not.
Okay,
Pete,
yeah.
but
No, it's
I'm
not.
gonna tell you why. Okay, can I tell you why it's working for them?
I'm listening. Who is it
For
working for?
them, the
Who?
Margellas, the
Oh yeah, no,
Margellas.
yes. I think it's working for Vinny. Yes, I do.
Yeah, yeah, like that's what
Okay.
I'm saying. Like it may not be a good thing. I ain't saying it's
Oh,
good or bad.
okay.
What I'm saying is it's working for them, right? To me,
Okay.
I look at Margella as the new era allure. And even though
Not
and let
new.
me tell you why. The even but allure has been around even with Ricky being the only person for
It has
22
been
plus years. It
y'all.
has.
Okay, I
And
hear
people want to
that,
be there.
but
People want to
I
be there.
hear
Yeah.
that. But
Mm-hmm.
right
Girl, I
now
love
in
when Nikki and Aladdin
2025,
they
it's
when they do their
falling
thing.
apart. Let's be clear.
Hmm.
Let's just be real.
Uh-huh.
Most of the houses that are still running out like that are stagnant. They aren't
Mm-hmm.
moving no place. They ain't doing shit. They revamped 50 million times and it failed every fucking time. You want to know why? Because the leadership is not fucking changing. You are the problem. Your house is in the shit show that it's in now.
Mm.
It's not working.
But that's
Mm.
one. But see, but Pete, and I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying because that's one aspect of it. Again, when what we have to do is that everybody's flow and mentality of what they're trying to achieve in ballroom is different. I just said this the other day. Everybody and you may not, and the goal that they're trying to reach may be to you the dumbest goal ever. It may not make
Oh yeah,
sense.
everybody got their own way of
Yeah,
what
but
I'm saying
everybody
of
has
how
their
they do.
own, you know what I'm saying?
Like
Oh,
And
what
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 else?
works
Marge
for Vinny.
and what I have noticed, even though I think that house is the most insane, asinine, idiotic house that I've ever come across with a bunch of pretty people, it works for them.
But it's not because they're steady
Mm.
shedding people. People are steady leaving. People are steady coming going.
Well, people
It's
leave all type of
it's a
houses, Nikki, to
I
be
it's
was
a
gonna say, yeah,
cycle,
famous.
people leave
but
all
but
houses.
a, but again, it's the cycle of that old mentality that's keeping it in the shit. Never mind.
No,
Now,
I,
It's
Nikki,
cool.
you just said and basically said like I'm saying, damn near 30% of the house of Balmain had left because of whatever reason they left. So people leave. I just said and told you a girl
Right,
left because
because
we didn't give her. Hold on,
Javon
I
thought
just
he
said a
was a
girl
bit
left.
above the program.
A girl
He,
just
he
left
thought it was all
because
about him, and it's not.
a girl just left our house because of what her friends got, and she feel like we don't value because of what her friends got from their house.
Uh,
well, MJ, that's a
Diggy.
different, that's a weird story. Yeah, maybe Nikki heard. I know what I heard out of my grand's mouth, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Um, a
But back,
girl.
what I was saying, Nikki,
Let,
is that
let,
I
that's a
respect
very
that.
unrestricted story.
hold on. Let me tell y'all something, right? Shut
Mm.
up.
Woo.
Oh yeah, so you got loud, I'm getting loud.
Picture it, Long
MJ.
Island. Picture it, Long Island. Um, I'm corrupt takes me to New York City. We walk into the room. I think we were at the Hilton or something, and it's Dee Dee in the room. This is my first time meeting her since she came home from prison. I
Uh-huh.
talked to her on the phone. Latoya Williams, Monique, the body, introduced me to Dee Dee when she was in prison. I never forget. We